A lot of parents have asked me, how do we help students achieve Quran reading fluency in just 16 weeks? And some say it's not even possible for someone to learn to recite the Quran and be able to read themselves in 16 weeks. So today, inshallah, I will show you deeper into our accelerated Quran reading program and how we structure the program to ensure that students as young as 5 years old are able to learn to recite the Quran themselves. They can open any page in the Quran and read themselves the way they can read books in English. So stay tuned for me to show you how your child that is struggling for many years, and a lot of you have your kids learning for many years. They are frustrated, they don't want to learn the Quran, they are making mistakes, the same issues all the time. So it's not about your child having that big problem, not wanting to learn. It's about the method that it's being used to teach them. I had some people saying, oh, it even takes 6 months to learn to understand the Qaida book in just 16 weeks. We've used this method to help more than 300 students to learn to recite the Quran themselves. So today I will show you exactly the same way we do it, and I'll show you into our program structure, the curriculum, and how we design every bit of it. So stay tuned if you are a teacher or if you are a parent that want to help your child to learn to recite the Quran. So at the end of this video, you will really see exactly what is possible and how your child can also benefit from this system. So instead of your child learning for many years and there's no result, and there's this connection between Quran and your child, you want to avoid that right away and start having your child get results. My name is Imam Muhammad. For those of you who do not know me, I'm the founder, and also I teach as well in the academy I founded. Over the last 6 years right now, we've helped more than 300 students learn to recite the Quran with a single system called the Accelerated Quran Reader System that I want to show you today. I have over 45 staff that work with me here. We have teachers, we have student success specialists, we have other staff members that actually ensure results is achieved. So it's not just a teacher effort, it's a collective effort, it's a school effort. And this is what I will show you today. So because it's really heartbreaking when you see a child, they reach 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, and they still cannot recite the Quran themselves. They feel frustrated taking the Quran, and they feel this is the end of the world, recite the Quran. So the method we use is called the Accelerated Quran Reader System. For those of you who have followed me for many years, you will see I've explained this, time and time how this method work. But I've seen a lot of people asking me again how this method works. So I decided to do this video today to show you exactly how you can do this as well yourself and how we actually operate the method. So we have something called the learning trifecta. This is part of the system. The method is called the Accelerated Quran Reader System. That's what we name it. But there's 3 things that's important that we use in the program. I'll use our own example of how we do it. So we have the trifecta. Imagine you have a building has 3 pillars, and those 3 pillars must be there before the building can be solid. So these trifecta are the pillars of our program, and this is how we teach students, and these are the tools or the blocks of this program that has helped more than 300 students learn to recite the Quran. Like, for instance, you hear what Abu Bakr's mom said. So what do you think his level of reading right now? Is he able to read himself from the Quran?
To be honest, I am very pleased with the progress that he has gotten to so far. Yes, he is almost fluent. It's not 100%, but then when he see the things now, he recognizes, he knows the rules and stuff like that. Yeah. So yes, a big progress from then till now, definitely.
Yeah. So he was learning for more than a year in the masjid, and it's so very far from the house as well. And he was frustrated. The mommy does not know what to do as well. She was also frustrated. But you see, she signed him up into the program, and within a few months, the child is able to achieve the goal that she wants. So the first pillar is called the active learning environment. I cannot stop saying this, and this is so much important. I just onboarded some students this week as well, and one of the kids is saying, I don't like Quran classes. I asked him why. He said it's so boring. And this is why we have active learning environment. So what do I mean by this? It's a small cohort of group of students. They'll be of the same age, the same level, the same location. So these kids will be assessed before we put them together. We do have a maximum of about 5 students in the classroom, an average of 3 per class. These kids or student will work together as pen pal, as friends, as Quran buddies for the next 4 months. What they do in the class, they learn, they have quiz, they have activities, they have fun. This makes Quran class feel exciting and students want to be there. Your child who's not wanting to learn the Quran will love to be there because they see kids of the same age, the same level. They're not too much. They have games, quizzes of tajweed. They have activities. it's fun. This is the first thing that every student in a program will really see, and that's the first catch. And you heard Abu Bakar's mom saying about the child feeling really excited about the classes. So it's a maximum 5 students in the class, but they must be of the same level, the same age, and the same location. So we have 4 levels of curriculum. So it's not something we just design in a week or in a day. It's been on for years and years. We are actually modifying it. So students of the same age, the same level, and also the same location, so they can attend at the same time, like the way they have it in school. So make it easy and make it fun. You know, Rasulullah mentioned, yassiru wa la tu'assiru. Make things easy for people and do not make it hard for them. Bashiru wa la tunafiru. Give glad tidings to people. Do not give them things that will send them away from Islam. So this is the first approach that we use in the program. So this ensures that the class is interactive, there's instant correction, there's positive reinforcement. And one of the things we also have in the class is all the students and the teacher, everyone will be on camera. The teacher must join the class with a laptop. So the camera is on, the student is seeing the teacher, and the student also must all be on camera. This is non-negotiables in our classroom setup. I know a lot of you have students who are learning the Quran, and the teachers are conducting classes from WhatsApp, from Zoom, and they're not even turning on camera. This is bad. You cannot have kids learn and have fun this way. So you need to be able to share your screen. You need to be able to annotate and write and have them write. The student needs to have a notebook in the class as they're learning a concept. So we design our own curriculum ourselves. I'll talk about the curriculum in a bit. But the first part is the learning environment. So your child needs to have the active learning environment. This is the first trifecta, the first requirement to get your child to learn to recite the Quran. If they don't have this, forget about the rest of the trifecta I'm going to talk about. You need to make sure you're able to establish this. And this is the hardest thing to do, because we enroll students every week and we make sure we get students who are compatible. So we have our quizzes or our placement tests that put students in each level. We also determine their age. Are they of the similar age? Are they also from the same location? So these are things we put together every time we onboard students into the program. So your child will feel so excited to be in the class. They feel part of a movement of people who want to achieve the same goal, the same way they feel when they go to school. So that's the first part of our learning trifecta. This helps students get excited. 5 years old, 6 years old, they all love to be in the class. Even if they don't want to be in the class because of their teacher or because of Quran, they want to be there to have fun together. That's non-negotiable for students learning the Quran. And that's the first thing that we do, ensure it's present in our program. Going to the next trifecta, which is called the learning habits. For those of you who have been with me for many years or months, you'll see I've explained many of this, indirectly or directly many times. We track students' learning habits. So students will not just come to our program and assume they will do whatever they want. There's a discipline. And for anyone that want to achieve anything in life, you need to be disciplined. So things needs to be done at a specific time, and you need to be consistent. The reason why a lot of students and parents are not able to achieve Quran reading fluency is because there's lack of discipline. So our learning habits is tracked. So we have 3 major things that we track as part of the habits that students must build in the program to achieve the goal. 1, they need to come to class on time, attendance. So we track that. We track punctuality to classes and also homework completion. So these 3 things are weekly habits that we track. So if a child joins us in the program, they need to have at least 80% in the entire 4 months to achieve the goal. So it's not just magic a child or a student will join. They need to be consistent and have that discipline. The habit must be consistent. It's not supposed to be 100%, but at least 80%. And this is the metric we've seen for almost 4 or 5 years right now. So students that have achieved 80% at least in 4 months, they're able to get a result. So the learning habit is really important. You're going to have reports weekly. So you have reports about your child, attendance habits, punctuality habits, the homework submission. Did they submit the homework, and what was the grade your child have in the homework? So the homework is done through our learning portal. So students can record their reading. We can hear what they've done. And this is really important. So if your child is not turning in homework, they are not able to practice what they've learned in the class. So those 3 habits are monitored weekly. We track them and we report to parents so that we can work together to ensure the child is consistent. So the attendance to classes is tracked, punctuality to sessions, and completing the weekly homework. It's really important. They are non-negotiable. That's why Rasulullah mentioned in Hadith, he said, خير الأعمال أدوامها وإن قل, that the best of deed are those which are consistent even if they're really small. You see, this little effort of attending classes, for instance, students in a program have just 4 classes per week. Okay, 3 of the sessions are for Quran and Tajweed learning, and 1 session for Islamic studies, Hadith, Sirah in the 4th session. But the first 3 sessions of the week, the first sessions are group, so they have it together as a group, learn the Tajweed together, brainstorm, have practice. So there's going to be the 3rd session, which is going to be a revision class. So there's 4 classes per week. So 3 sessions are meant for learning Quran, Tajweed, and practicing reading, and the 4th session is for Islamic studies. So students are able to blend both the learning of Quran reading and meaning together at the same time. But we separate the goals, right? The 3 sessions are meant for Quran reading, nothing else. The 4th session only will be for Islamic studies. But we track all those attendance and we track the punctuality and homework submission from the class. These are non-negotiables. We have a tracking sheet, like the one shown on the screen here. We have a tracking system that monitors every student and that get reported to each parent every week. So it's not about cramming things and memorizing, it's a system. And that's why I said, if you do not have a system to teach your child or to teach your student, you end up wasting their time for many years and months. So going to the next and the last trifecta, which is called the strategy. The strategy is really important. So it entails 3 things. We call it the build, retain, and transfer. These are the 3 strategies that we use in the program. The build ensures that a student understand the basics of the Tajweed concept they need to learn at their level. So if a child is a complete beginner, they don't know anything, they don't know letters. Those students are enrolled and onboarded into our level 1 accelerated Quran reading program. In that level, the goal for that child is to be able to read anywhere in the Quran, so they can see any words and read themselves. They might be a bit slower for level 1 student, but at the end of 4 months, the goal is they can be able to read Arabic words. So they can read the Quran themselves slowly and read from any page. And so what we do is that we have 8 curriculum modules that we teach them. We design ourselves. The letters is taught for like almost a month, 4 weeks. We have things to teach in each of those weeks. And then we teach them the short vowel sound, which is the which is the short vowel sound. And so as they're having that, they learn, practice reading in class examples randomly. They take turns to read. And we teach them the sukun and qalqala, the silent letters. We teach them the mad letters and how they look like and pronounce really many ayats during those sessions. And they also have to learn the tanween, the nonation. They also learn shadda, which is doubling. They also learn the rules of lam al-qamariya and lam al-shamsiyya. And then we teach them the huruf al-muqatta'ah, which is the broken letters. So that's level 1 students. And so if they master those concepts, they have practice in the class. Okay, that's the building. So they do that twice during the week. So they build the skills, they learn the basics, they take turns to practice, they have quizzes. So those 2 sessions are called the build sessions. They have it on the weekdays, for instance. And there's going to be a revision class that each student in that group session will have a review class on the weekend. So the review class will be a separate session, so individual, for like 30 minutes. So the group session will go for like an hour each. Let's say Monday, Wednesdays, or they can have it Tuesdays, Thursdays. They have it alternate days. And the session on Saturday will be just 30 minutes. Each student will revise what they've learned. And that way, what each of them have learned in the class, we check them and evaluate them. And so they have Islamic studies class as well on the second day of the weekend. So they revise the lesson. That's the retention part. So they build the skills together, but they retain the lessons individually in the class with the teacher revising what they've learned. And then they transfer the skills. So the transfer session is when they do homework themselves. I'm not going to be there. The mom is not going to be there. The dad is not going to be there. They will do it themselves. We use Google Classroom. So students can easily record their reading and we get feedback from them. So we get feedback on what they've learned. Have they mastered what they've learned, or are they able to understand what was learned or what was the learning goal for that week? And so we grade the homework, give them feedback. So this is the 3 strategy that we use. So like I mentioned, I've mentioned the curriculum content the student will learn in level 1. For level 2 students, there's 2 more or 3 more additional modules they will learn. Level 2 students are students who came into our program. They already identify letters. They can read a little bit, some words, but they struggle to be fluent and read anywhere in the Quran. So aside from those first 8 modules we teach the students in level 1, for level 2 students, they have 3 more modules to learn. They also learn the rules of nun sakin and tanween and the rules of mim sakin, right? The students in level 1 also learn the rules of mim sakin as well. So if kids are not taught the foundation of tajweed and they just memorizing it, they cannot learn to read themselves the Quran. And that's so simple. Man ضيع الأصول حرم الوصول. Whoever does not learn the foundation will not arrive at the goal. They will not arrive at whatever goal they learn. So you want to learn math, you need to learn some foundation of math before you can really be a good mathematician, right? And this is how Quran learning is as well. The problem is a lot of people are not having the kids to learn the tajweed. So they just having students learn to put word together, the qaida alone. That will not suffice. So you can see here that learning the qaida book alone will not help your child to become a fluent Quran reciter. There's need for a system to be in place for a child to build the skills, to retain the lessons, and to transfer the skills. And this is what makes us able to achieve this goal for students in just 4 months. You can see that. So to summarize what I've said, there are 3 parts of our learning system called the accelerated Quran reader system. We call it the learning trifecta. They are the building blocks of the program. The active learning environment, student needs to have that. They need to have consistent monitored learning habits. It's important. They also need to have a learning strategy. So the active learning environment, I already mentioned what make us have that and what is the composition of it, which is a small cohort. Then the habits, tracking, 3 things: attendance, punctuality, homework, submission. So we also have the strategy, which has in there the build, retain, and transfer. So this is basically how you can design a system yourself and get students to learn to recite the Quran on time. I know we cannot help all students, but if you are a teacher listening to me right now, you can go ahead and think about how you want to put this together. And people ask me, do we use a specific qaida? We design a curriculum ourselves. So we have our own custom curriculum that we use in the program that ensures that those learning habits and learning structure is applied weekly. So if you'd like to learn more about a program or would like to see how you can have your child benefit from this program, there's going to be a link below this video. You can sign up and book a one-on-one call with me so I can see if your child will be a fit for our program and to see if you also would like to join the program. In that call, I'm going to walk you through more details and show you a classroom portal and show you everything better so you can have a good understanding of what your child will be doing and how to be doing it. Our students use about 3 hours in an entire week for all lessons. So they have 2 group sessions on the weekdays, 1 hour each, and they have a 30-minute revision class on Saturday. They have a 1-hour Islamic studies class on Sunday, and that's it. So 3.5 hours. And the homework is going to take them 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum weekly to do. And this is so very small compared to the number of time your child uses in schools, right? And some kids do 30 minutes for 5 days a week and they still cannot recite the Quran after 6 months. So it's not about how often you do the classes, how smart you learn and how smart the kids are learning. Like I mentioned in most of my videos, your child needs to learn with a system. So because if your child is not having to learn with a system, if they're not getting results, you don't know what to check. You know, it's like if your car breaks down, you need to know what could make a car break down. So you check the systems and the mechanic will check what needs to be fixed and get it fixed. But if your child does not have a system that's defined to learn, and they're going to be just learning in vacuum and they cannot get results. So if you really want to get results for your child and do not want your child to be frustrated learning the Quran, you can reach out to me and my team. So there's a WhatsApp link as well to message us directly, and I can respond to your message or my team will do that. Or if you want to get started, you're ready to get started and sign up your child, tap the link to book the one-on-one call with me so you can talk to me personally for 30 minutes and we can see if your child will be a fit. We don't accept all students and not all parents are accepted into our program. We actually filter out really serious parents because we have a goal to achieve. We don't just want parents that passively want the kid to learn a craft. We want parents that actually want kids to actively learn and get results on time. So if you are that parent, we want you to be in our program. If you're not really actively interested right now, you don't need to book a call with me. Maybe later on you can save our page and you can join anytime. But if you're really actively looking to have your child learn to read the Quran fluently, or your child is frustrated, here's your chance. The link below this video, check the bio of this video. You can book a call with me, put in your information. Watch the video I put up on the page to see how I explain this same thing again, but you can just book the call and talk to me and my team. So subscribe to our channel. We'll meet you next week, inshallah. If you have any question, let us know. Till next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.